The King J, back with another video. So I got asked, what do I think back to basics means? Now, you know, I did a video before and that got a good reception. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much for everyone that tuned into that one and people that were leaving comments. I honestly believe back to basics honestly means that I feel like they're going to revert the game back to season 1, because I feel like season 1, at the end of it, the game was somewhat decent, but there was like 7 characters, maybe 5 to 7 characters that were ridiculous, right? And then the game needed just to fix those characters and it would have been somewhat decent. I know people are going to be like, Jay, I don't like heat. I understand that. But the thing is, there's nothing we can do. You have to love heat. That's it. You just have to love it. Like, it's not going in the game. They want you to play heat. There's a reason why we don't have the old school games in Tekken 8. Because if there was Tag 2 in Tekken 8, in the, you know, the fight lounge, I guarantee you majority of people will be playing Tag 2 or they'll be playing the old school games. So they want you to play these new mechanics. They want you to enjoy, right? But the funniest thing for me is when I watched the Master Cup and I was watching everyone play, and even it's like the casuals, they don't backdash. So I'm like, hey, this is what they done it for. They done this for the newer players. They want the newer audience. They want the new players. But what they're doing is they are kicking out old players, because the old players, there's a lot of old players, right? That, you know, old schools. Let me not say old, 'cause I feel like that's rude. But there's a lot of old school players that don't play this game anymore, right? There's a lot of them that have said to me they don't play the game anymore. Yeah, they focusing on real life stuff. They're saying, yeah, nah, they don't really on Tekken like that no more. And I'm like, that's sad, because Tekken 7, they were on the same thing. They were like, yeah, they're focused on other stuff, but they like Tekken 7. But I ain't hearing this for Tekken 8, and I want people to like Tekken 8. But I also understand why they don't like Tekken 8. You know, even including myself. Like, I, for a long time, have had my struggles enjoying the game. And, you know, it's because of the game is too aggressive. I think season 2 went in the completely wrong direction. I honestly feel like they added way too many things that didn't need to be done. They added 1,500 of things that make no sense. I think 1,300 of it made no sense, right? They just things that just did not need to be added, right? We didn't need a lot of these moves. You had Jack doing, you know, make some noise, and people were actually making some noise on Twitter about how busted it was. There's a lot of things that was just going on wrong. They've somehow managed to, you know, do these patches every so often outside of the Tekken World Tour. But my thing with this is, why don't you just concentrate on fixing the game? Like, I would rather, and I'm going to be so honest with you, I would rather you don't bring any more characters into the game until the game is fixed. Because you know what the funniest thing about Back to Basics is Kunimitsu is coming as the first character. So that means you don't have to deal with Kunimitsu. Kunimitsu is one of the most annoying characters in Tekken 7. Like, one of the most annoying characters. I don't think you understand how annoying that character is. That character can be at range 3 and then just dash into you and press set 2, which is a mid move. And she's only -9. But if it hits you and counter hit, you get a big combo. I don't want to see that in Tekken 8. I want to see more neutral stuff. And I would say that Kunimitsu is neutral skip central. She's the queen of neutral skip. So you can't say Back to Basics. And then this character ain't doing basics. She's doing her own game. But enough about that. I say that to say this. I brought up this trailer because I wanted to show you something. They said Back to Basics, and here's some stuff that they showed. So they showed that, you know, Asuka can't do, you know, down 1+2, forward 2. So everyone thinks that this is enough. This is Back to Basics. This is Tekken 5 DR, right? Tekken 5 DR, Asuka could never do forward 2 straight away. The only time when Asuka could do forward 2 is in against the wall. But do you also know why that this is not even really enough? It's not really enough. Like, if you really think about it, when's the time that Asuka really does down 1+2, right? They usually do it when your back's against the wall, right? Because you're scared, right? So it's kind of like you just put it back to how it was in Tekken 6 and Tekken 5. Tekken 5 DR, you could do that, and then, you know, if your back's against the wall, you get forward 2. Obviously in the open, yeah, but it should have never been able to do forward 2 or, you know, Nano Augusto forward 2, 1+2 after that. That's ridiculous. No Leroy player asks for back 1+2 in Hermit. None. I'm a Leroy specialist. I never asked for this. This is not what we needed. You know? I don't even think that this is even like, yeah, I don't like, look, this is the most played part on the YouTube. Look, can you see this part here? This is the section that everyone talks about. Everything else no one cares about. We care about this part here. As, you know, someone that's a huge consumer of the game. And it looks like now, you know, new moves. These two characters have new moves. You don't need those. Last has got his 1+2 back from Tekken 6. I think it's 1+2 1 or something like that. So he's gonna be able to do this move. So it's a 2-hitting move, right? So this move is a 2-hitting move, and you used to be able to cancel after the first hit. So you used to be able to do that and then either crouch. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do his other stances. I have no idea. I don't know why he has this. He doesn't need this. He needs toning down. And Kazuya doing 112 laser beam. Some people said that this is a nerf. I agree, like 112 side switch is quite sick if people don't know how to play on both sides. That's pretty sick, and you want to go back onto the other side, sick. But does that 112, is it going to be able to wall blast, or is it just going to be able to, you just go to the wall? How quick do you recover? Can you do things afterwards? I don't know. Ranked match reset. Also, they're going to tone down the way how ranked match is. Interesting. How is that going to work? Because now we're going to move into another layer of what I want to say. Season 3 goes back to basics. We have to stop adding buzzwords when these seasons are happening. And the reason why I'm saying this now, obviously, Bandai, if you do watch this, please, again, you know, I've met you lot, I've seen you lot, I told you lot I'm opinionated, I do love your game, but you have to understand this. Doing buzzwords does annoy the community, because you said that there's a defensive patch in season 2, and Anna was going around running riot for a whole year, and she's still number 1, she's still the best in the game for a whole year. You didn't listen to, no one listened to no one. You know, so this is crazy. So season 3 goes back to basics, right? This is what they're saying. And the reason why this doesn't make sense to me is because what was back to basics about that trailer? More redefined, more deliberate, more conventional. But what was shown in that trailer? That was that. And again, I'm not saying this from an angry standpoint. I'm saying this from someone that I didn't understand this trailer. You showed me a bunch of things that might have been changed. You showed me a lot of different other things, but you didn't show what was going on. And this is where, you know, maybe the people that are on payroll might not talk about it because they're on payroll and they might not want to upset you. They might not want to lose the payroll. I understand that. But this is, you know, a community homegrown channel. So I'm able, and I have to say as it is, like I said, at day one. You know, day one when I played this game, you know, story mode was lovely. It was amazing. But gameplay, competitive wise, there was a lot of issues. Season 3, this is make or break for a lot of people. Or maybe it's not. Maybe, you know, people love Tekken so much that people will just keep playing it no matter what. Me personally, I've been trying to dabble into Street Fighter again and Fatal Fury and other games because I can't put all my eggs in one basket with Tekken. I'm gonna be so honest. It's, you know, we gotta talk about like even like the season passes. Let's talk about it. We're here. You wanna sell a season, right? You have Bob, you have Roger, and you have Kunimitsu. Now you tell me this. You in the chat, you watching in the video, you tell me, because maybe I'm going crazy, right? Maybe I'm being dramatic. Just like when I said, Clive, if you keep making decisions like this with Clive, you're going to end up ruining the game. Just remember this. I said this a year before season 2. Well, just before that, that's a lie. I said this when season 2 was about to start, right? That's when I said it. Season 2 has ended. Now what is everyone saying? People make content, negative content about the game because they feel like it gets views, right? They weren't making this content. A lot of these people that, you know, making content now, when things were going good, or when their characters were busted, or when they were on payroll, they weren't making this content. But all of a sudden now, when things dry up and there ain't really much going on, everyone's making negative content about the game. It's like, why? You wasn't saying this at season 1. You was enjoying. Fresh game, fresh eyes. Maybe if I was, you know, acting like I loved the game, maybe I would have grown as a channel. Maybe I would have grown way more as a channel if I just kind of faked it and said this game is the best game. Started making guides and stuff. But I am just an honest person. So whatever's happened now, this is just how it is. It's kind of done full circle, right? Because no one's really saying that this game is the best game or anything like that. There's a lot of issues. I do say that to say this. I say I want season 3 to do well, right? I really, really do. I want you lot to stop using buzzwords, Bandai. Please, stop using buzzwords. Back to basics, defensive patch. If you're gonna say it, show us. That's what I stand on. Don't say you're gonna do this, that, and the other, and then show us what you showed us for season 2. That's what made me scared. You said defensive patch, and I saw nothing but Alyssa doing Hello World and being plus whatever. I'm seeing Claudio do swinging his arm and being plus whatever. I see Brian having a walking forward punch parry and wall splatting, and he just doesn't give a damn. I saw all of those things, and that was in season 2. Brian had that in season 1, but in season 2 he still had it. You didn't even do anything to it. Like, come on, man. If you're gonna say back to basics, I want to see this. But yeah, sorry, I was, you know, my brain's getting all over the place because this season 3 is like make or break. But let's go back to the DLC. DLC. I don't think Bob, Roger, and Kunimitsu is enough to sell a season pass. I'm going to be so deadly honest with you. And, you know, again, I keep it real here. If you lot don't like it, I understand. I'm sorry. I can't be fake. I am a Bob main. I'm also a Bob specialist. If you know about my Tag 2 era, I used to play Bob and Ganryu. And I am still saying Bob is not going to sell for a season pass. There is characters you could have chose that was a lot better to save the eyes on the game. There's characters like Asian Ogre. There's characters like Bruce. There's characters like Julia. And I don't even necessarily like fighting against Julia. But Julia is another character. Miguel is another character. Imagine how much people would have erupted if they saw Bruce was back and Bruce and Fakaram had a rivalry. Imagine how much people would have went mad if they saw Asian Ogres in the game. You've hinted that Asian Ogre's got some parts of the story, and then you brought Mary Zoe. You could have literally brought back any of those characters. And you brought back the characters that people, they don't like, they're not like. Bob could have came back in season 4 and I would have been happy. Roger could have came back this season, to be fair. Roger was interesting and it was good, but it just makes me think you lot are not listening. You know? That's what it makes me feel like. The back to basics, I mean, again, I'm sad because this is the game that I love. This is the game that I built up, you know, how many years on and made a channel for, you know. I've been doing content creation on Tekken for a very long time. So I'm, you know, when people say, why do you still play the game? I've devoted a lot of time into this and it's like, I'm here for the ride, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I still play. But this is like a roller coaster that looks like it's not going well. Do you know what I mean? So this is why I'm like, all right, what's happening here? Why are we making these decisions? Like even the DLC choices, like season 2 DLC choices, yeah, it's all right. Mary Zoe, Anna, Vakram, Armor King, those characters came out good. Like, I think Vakram came out good, Armor King came out good, Mary Zoe came out good. I think those characters are good. I don't know why she has a safe downfall too, though. And that just clips you from anywhere, but okay. I guess that's what you want, no problem. But then when we look at season 1, Clive, Eddie should have been starting roster. I don't know why Eddie's DLC. Lydia, Heihachi. You could have made Heihachi come at season 4, man. Like, Heihachi didn't need to come at season 1. It just seems like the decisions just don't make any sense, in my opinion. Like, they really don't. But again, don't want to ramble on too much. Season 3 goes back to basics. I don't think we're going to know anything until the patch notes. Do I think the game is going to do well or not? I don't know. We haven't heard any sale results from season 2, since season 1. So that's kind of telling, right? Because we're going into a new season and they haven't said we sold 4 million or 5 million or 6 million or 7 million. So this is it's not looking good, you know? But again, like I said, I hope the best, because at the end of the day, I want people to be still on their payrolls. I want the tournament players to still be on their payrolls in their, their esports teams, and, like the commentators to be commentating. I want all of these things, the content creators to be eating. I want everyone to be eating, I want everyone to be happy, everyone to be nice. But this game, it just needs just one focus, please. Even if you need to give, like, I don't know, when we first started, when you were starting to do the early pre-beta test, in tournaments and stuff like that, you lot had a quiz where you was asking us each questions about, the mechanic, the heat mechanic and stuff, and blah, 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 blah. Like, why don't we get more of those things again? Like, why? I don't understand why there's no more quiz. Like, it would be sick to get, not even a quiz. What is that? A survey? Sorry, I said quiz. Survey. Like, just a survey. I think that could help. I honestly want this game to do well, man. Because even now, like, when I play on ranked, I'm not really... today, I'm not even in the mood to play ranked. How's the rank system gonna go? It's like, what are you lot gonna do for God 8? We had a whole season. We had a season 2, and no one hit God 6, no one hit God 7, no one hit God 8. Like, think about that realistically. No one hit God 6, 7, or 8. This is professional players around the world. You know what I'm saying? Around the world. I can't make this up. If I'm making this up, tell me I'm a liar. Even the cheaters couldn't get God 8. No one got God 8. It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want this to be back to basics. This is what the title of the video is going to be. I really want back to basics, because what you lot got going on here, even like down to the fight pass, bring it back so we can bring back the fight pass so we can pay for them. Even if you make it double of what it was, 1,200 money points. I know you lot are going to look at me and say, Jay, do not say this to them. But we have to just start just being a bit neutral here, right? 1,200 for the, the previous passes. If you want to go and get some items from it, I'll do that. Even if you make it 600, or there has to be some type of FOMO, right? They sell it for 600, right? Do double if you miss the pass, and let us buy it again. You'll make money. You want money, right? You want money. You can take money. Bring back the old fight passes. Why do you lot keep doing things that, people don't want to see? I missed out on the season 1 pass because I was playing on PlayStation 5. Now I'm on PC. I missed out on Fight Pass, the first Fight Pass. And that one has a karate gi that will make, well, that would be sick for my Tsunade costume for Lydia. I can't get that no more. Why does the Fight Pass have to go away? Because it's a part of FOMO. So, like, games like Fortnite and Apex Legends, they have these type of things where it's like, Fight Passes, Battle Passes, all these things. And they want you to get them right now. This is how they make their money. They want you to get it right now. If you don't get it right now, then they don't make money. right? But I'm saying that, you know, you're not Fortnite, you're not Apex Legends, you're not these games. These games that make millions, they make money. Fighting games don't make, like, you know, the same as those games. They don't make the same as those games. Sorry. It's just the reality. So you have to start thinking, okay, what do fighting game people like? We like the fight. I like fight passes. Let me buy the previous ones. But yeah, that's what I really got to say. But these people making content and saying their stuff on, you know, Twitter and all this stuff, like, oh yeah, like they're giving opinions. Where was your opinions in season 1? What, now that Tekken 8 is in a bad state, you lot are giving opinions? You lot wasn't giving opinions in season 1. Season one had Heat flipping engagers being plus 17, and you thought that was acceptable? Really? You lot thought that was okay, or did you lot keep quiet because the money was coming in? That's all I really gotta say. Just be honest, man. It's okay if you don't wanna, you know, be nice for the money. I hear it, but just don't change up if the money dries up. That's all I'm saying, because you gotta be just honest. Back to basics, innit? Back to basics. But yeah, if you don't like this video, remember to subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you lot think what back to basics means, because I really hope it does go back to basics. Thank you, everyone. Peace.